His great-grandmother, she kept looking at him all the time. She said, Daniel's gonna be big. She said, I can't tell you what it's gonna be, but it'll be big. 3 years old. He said, I want to be a champion. Maybe that's what it is. He wanted to do what his great-grandmother said he was going to do. He wanted that to come true. And that's what he did.
Lafayette is a small town. When I was growing up, it was still a few dirt roads, kind of that small southern city vibe.
Daniel was a happy kid. We had no problem. He just liked to move around a lot, you know.
He was a rascal. Oh yeah, he moved around fast, and a lot of things you don't think he'd try to do, he'd do it.
I always felt so much love. The strength of my family is what truly allowed me to be how I am and who I am. I was a pretty good football player. Led the state in tackles, but I really wanted to wrestle.
I set eyes on young Daniel Cormier. He was playing football at Northside, and I stopped the car. Hey, what are y'all doing? And they kind of stopped, said, come wrestle, come on. And he asked, is it like WCW? And I said, yes, it is. Just like, come on.
It shaped me completely for hard work and shaping me to aspire to do something bigger than anyone had ever done in our city.
The two-time U.S. Olympian.
Cormier, though, taking it to Barnett. Cormier is so explosive in the pace of...
Even as you fast forward to my fighting career when I won the heavyweight title over Stipe.
UFC history!
I looked at Joe Rogan and I said, I've been second a lot of times. From 15-year-old world championships, I was third instead of a world champ. To the NCAAs, I was second instead of a national champion. Olympics, fourth. Lost to Jones twice, now I'm second again. There were so many times where I've been like this and just fell a little bit short. But after that fight against Stipe, it truly feels like everything I went through was all for that moment, that shining moment. Every year at the end of the basketball tournament, NCAA, there's that song, One Shining Moment. And it was for that moment where all eyes were just on me.
I never knew what I could become, but tonight I got the answer. I'm a 2-division champion, baby!
I had accomplished everything.
Cormier deserves to be in the top 5 of the greatest fighters of all time. He's one of the all-time great wrestlers in U.S. history, was a 2-time Olympian, was the captain of the Olympic team. He was a terrific heavyweight, moved to light heavyweight, won the championship there, beat some unbelievable fighters, and then a return to heavyweight knocks out the most successful heavyweight in UFC history.
All we've seen from Daniel Cormier at heavyweight is an undefeated run where he really hasn't even been touched. I mean, you just go down the line, Josh Barnett, Bigfoot Silva, the Roy Nelsons, the Frank Mears, Stipe Miocic. He is a bowling ball of destruction. I would have loved to see the Daniel Cormier we would have gotten. He would have fought at heavyweight for the most of his career. I feel like we would be talking about him as one of the greatest heavyweights to ever compete. And the fact that he didn't even give himself that chance simply to do right by his friend is one of the more generous things we've ever seen in this sport.
Kane and Cormier would fight each other, from what I understand. You know, that guy might be my friend, but he's got what I want, and I know what I get when I get that belt. But who knows, man?
He goes, you guys are too good to not fight. It's gonna happen.
Right from the start, Kane didn't look at him as a punch threat. He looked at him like, I want this guy here, so I'm gonna show him everything that I can to help him get better.
Go!
We're both competitive, trying to get each other better. I've always thought if we fought, knowing how good he is, dude, it would be the toughest shit that we both would have to go through. It's because we knew each other very well.
Done! So we talked about it, and I was like, yo, I'm gonna go down, because it's the only way I can be a champion, because I feel you're gonna be the champ forever. It started this chain of events that I feel needed to happen in the world. And none of that would have happened if I didn't go to 205.
John Jones, no matter where you go, boy, I'm coming.
From day one, they're both just under each other's skin.
What do you think's gonna happen? You know, you put your hands on me, you put your face to me, like, no.
You're a little fat, puzzy bitch.
I wish they would let me next door so I could spit in your fucking face.
You know I would absolutely kill you if you ever did something like that.
You could never kill me.
Oh, I bet you I could.
Then you should try, John.
The rivalry with John Jones, it absolutely is one of the greatest rivalries in the history of the UFC. That has defined Daniel Cormier's legacy for a large majority of his career. I feel like those two are going to be enemies until they're 70 years old. It will go on until the end of time.
The first fight we fought, I just felt like I've made it to the absolute pinnacle.
And still, the undisputed UFC champion.
But it was just another one of those instances where I was not ready to be the absolute best. I wasn't ready to beat him. I should have. Man, I'm a loser. You know, it felt bad.
Breaking news just into Fox Sports 1. The UFC has stripped John Jones of his light heavyweight title and suspended him indefinitely after Jones is charged in a felony.
I was on my ass chilling. Dana called me 3.5 weeks before fight and said, if I rumble for the belt, I'm like, okay. I jumped on the treadmill and started to cut weight. No training camp, just treadmill, cut weight, and every day Kane got in that cage with Kane 5 rounds, exhausted, and he would just make me go through the rounds. Even if he had to go light on me, just to push me, to make sure that if I needed to go 5, I could go 5. And I went and I won the title.
But I have a message for one man. John Jones, get your shit together. I'm waiting for you.
Daniel Cormier was never really appreciated as the light heavyweight champion. And anything that he said, any articles you wrote about him, any interviews he did, it was still people saying, you are the fake champ, you're not the real champ.
Man, everything like, oh, you fake champ, oh, you this, oh, you that, and oh my God, it's like, I just said, Daniel, how can you take this? I go, I want to cuss these guys out. He goes, no, please don't.
Boo me, yes, that makes a lot of sense. But
the fans embracing John after everything that he's been through is something that he just so much scratches his head at.
I had no clue what he said over all those bulls.
Fans took to him early on, and it seemed like only until the John Jones chapter of his career came that he really became sort of this weirdly disliked and conflicting public personality where the fans turned on him, and you know, John Jones was the fan favorite, even the second fight.
The whole John Jones thing is such a frustrating situation.
In the rematch, everything's going great. You know, we're going, oh man, we're doing good. He's doing exactly what we want. But DC stopped.
I was feeling good about the fight, and you know what? We got caught.
I'm going to have one of the most talked about and oddly viewed careers in the history of the sport. But the actions of my rival has cast such a massive shadow that it's gonna always make what I've done a little bit less special.
Oh man, that's so disappointing. If you win both fights, there is no rivalry, so I don't know.
He's like the Joe Frazier to John Jones's Muhammad Ali. No matter what he does, there are going to be those that are going to forever detract from the fact that he could not beat the one man who was beating him, not once, but twice. Funny thing is, John Jones failed a drug test the second time around, and nobody cares. They still say that Daniel Cormier lost.
And it's too bad because Frazier was fortunate in that he was able to beat Ali in the first fight and knock him down in the 15th round. Daniel hasn't had that moment yet.
I don't like that reality. Sucks, because I've worked so hard to beat him. But I'm okay with that. I needed him to pursue greatness. I've defended that belt 3 times, and people will still say stuff like it's not real. It's crazy.
It wasn't until, strangely enough, that Joe Frazier passed away that people really started giving us respect. And I fear that for Daniel Cormier a lot, that people are not going to really give him his credit until he's gone.
Maybe it's just fans finally getting enough of him to understand that this is a good guy in a sport where we don't have enough good guys. Maybe it's just the natural order of things. But it feels as though now fans really have embraced Daniel Cormier and appreciate everything that he really embodies.
I think now, after that fight against Stipe, people now have understood who I am. I heard it in Boston when I walked through the curtain and people are going crazy. I heard it in Vegas and people are going crazy as I'm about to fight the champ. The boos are getting drowned out now. I want to leave something so special that when little Daniel looks back on my career, or Marquita, they go, man, my dad really was one of the greatest. I want my legacy to be, when someone talks about mixed martial arts, they go, man, that was a guy named Daniel Cormier. He was small, he was kind of chubby, he could fight, and this dude was a grinder. He would break people. And they'd be like, really, Dad? They'd be like, yeah, watch this video. And they'll show me flipping guys over through the air, or me just making guys turn over and let me choke them. That's what I want. Then they're always gonna end. Every one of those highlight videos will end with me sitting on top of the cage with a belt around my waist and a belt hanging in my hand. It means everything. It lasts forever. I don't just say these things. It lasts forever. Obviously, it takes a village to build a champion, but it does take detractors to motivate you to become truly, truly great. Even if they booed me, the fans made me. Like, they really did. We could not have scripted this to go better. We wrote a movie. We couldn't have scripted it better than it's been for us.